Welcome to What a Time to Be Alive, the only podcast counting down everything this week that made you say, what a time to be alive. And now, Patrick Monahan, Kath Barbadoro, and Eli Uden.
Folks, welcome to What a Time to Be Alive, the only podcast that counts down the things each week that make you say the thing that's the title of the podcast. I'm Kath Barbadoro.
I'm Eli Uden. No Patrick Monahan this week, unfortunately.
Shelby's thrilled. Patty
Patty's...
he got stuck in a Hobbit house. He had too many Hobbit meals, and now he can't fit back through the Hobbit door.
Too many 11s. He's moved into a Hobbit house. He's trying to develop a new vegetable over there. That's what he's been up to. He's been
in the lab.
Yeah, he's been in the lab, the agricultural lab, the seed bank. One of the worst titled things in. I mean, we don't even want to start a podcast like that, but yeah.
You got a problem with the seed bank?
I don't love it. I don't love the name. You know
think
what?
It's like a place where birds go to get loans or something? Is that what you don't like about it?
Oh, no. I think it's something much grosser. And seed bank.
Oh, fair enough.
Something. Yeah,
fair enough.
Feels like something some sort of person would be like ensures a future purity sort of vibe. Seed bank. But with all that out of the way, hey, we got a special guest. Yeah, play that music. My God. A comedian extraordinaire. Everybody, please welcome Mark Little.
Mark Little, hello.
Hello. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Does Shelby make those?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Shelby's got a stranglehold on the Fiverr the Fiverr economy for voiceover or whatever it is.
Wow.
I think
cool.
sadly we booked Mark too late to have drops. Sometimes we have custom drops for the guests.
Yeah.
Cool.
But no, very funny comedian in New York now, out of Canada. So yeah, Canadian listeners, this is your time.
Representation.
Good. Yeah.
Not to put too much pressure on Mark to represent a country. Really setting him up there, but
yeah. But very funny. And then I was also a fan, I think maybe me and Kath both fans of your old sketch group before I knew you in person. Though I think we met at a festival some years ago, if I can remember correctly.
You and I met at taping at Nerd Melt.
Oh, wow.
Long
R.I.P.
ago.
R.I.P.
The Meltdown? I can tell you I
Meltdown.
wasn't on it. I definitely wasn't on it.
You were on it.
Did I do Meltdown? My God.
You did.
And I'm not
Yeah.
famous? Come on. Did it too late.
You did a really funny joke about how a burrito is the only food where the side dishes are just stuff that's already in the burrito again.
Oh, man. Why didn't you tell me that before I did my special? I could have brought it back. God damn it.
I have told you that. I told you that. I told you that the moment we met when I moved here, and you were like, that's an old one.
They're all old ones. That's the secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you find the fact that you don't remember that, does that like startle you, or have you made peace with that? Because I feel like people keep bringing stuff up to me that I have no memory of, and it kind of freaks me out.
I mean, I not too much, just because I do a lot of. This has always been a cop out. Anyone who says this, me included, right on stage, air quotes. But I like riff a lot, so it's more. It doesn't freak me out as much as it makes me like upset at myself, because I'm like, why don't you write down things that do well? And then, yeah. But I had one of those. There's something like that in this special. If you watch my special, Humble Offering. Maybe soon to be changed, because some other big comedian is coming out with a special weirdly called A Humble Offering, bigger than mine. But there's one about like kids commercials that I'd like forgotten all about, and then I put on Instagram. I was like, anyone remembered my jokes? What are some of my good jokes that you like? And then someone mentioned that, and I was like, I haven't done that in years.
That's our listeners really helpfully do that for this podcast, where we ask them what our best bits of the year are, and they're inevitably things we do not remember most of the time.
Yeah, it's I mean, this podcast itself is a complete fugue state. It's just difficult. Like, we're building, it's like recording this podcast is like, when Wile E. Coyote is making like a bridge and he's like or Bugs Bunny, they're just like nailing board after board, like while they're running out over a canyon. And then so someone's like, hey, do you remember how you fastened that fourth board over the canyon? And you're like, no, I was afraid of dropping into the deadly silence of dead air. So
it's a fear-based podcast.
Yeah. All podcasts are, really.
We get right down to it.
I wonder if you I've like had to actually fight the hate of dead air that's been built into me from doing a podcast when I started doing therapy, because I kept trying to fill and then the therapist had to be like, it's okay to not talk for a minute, and you're like, oh well, I'm used to that being bad listening. So
your therapist told you that? Your therapist told you it's okay to not talk for a minute?
Well,
your therapist told you to stop talking?
No, it's like one of those things where I was like, I just kept like rambling and qualifying and stuff, and then
I have noticed you do have, even before we record, you seem to like have a fear of it, because you're always like singing a little song or something.
Oh yeah,
you like
that's just good
you can't
old
just
social
like
anxiety.
let it.
Shut the fuck up!
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Do it again.
Well, that's
You shouldn't have been talking
shit. You gotta have external noise so the internal noise is quiet.
Yeah, that's why you
Quiet
like
it
heavy
down.
metal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Honestly, just some
Keep it loud.
grinding.
Keep the thoughts out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, we'll plug it as well. But you've got your own podcast coming in the future, right, Mark?
Yeah. Tell us, Mark, is your podcast based on fear as well?
Well, it's based on a fear of being myself in a strange, oblique way, because it's called Caveman Need Know. And
Which I still can't hear without going, caveman need no.
That is boop boop. No, it's basically a caveman interviewing people about what the hell's going on in the modern world. So it's like my excuse to have people explain things that I should know to me. But guess what? I'm not stupid, because it's a caveman.
Yeah, you have a safe out to not know things.
That's right.
Have you learned anything interesting so far in recording? Like,
I've learned so much interesting stuff. I learned the history of bidets, and I learned the history of cocktails, both of which were like obscenely fascinating.
That's what other people are doing on there? Researching? Oh, shit.
Yeah, Eli, you really dropped the ball. You just told me about some anime shows.
Yeah.
No, the history of
check it out.
bidets was fascinating. I found out that like bidet means pony in French, or like little horse.
whoa.
Yeah, and the
Little
first
horse.
the first bidet was like back in like the 1700s or something. It was rich people put a little like bath on like one of those like wooden horse like, toys that you can sit on or whatever. So it would be like it was just like you dunk your butt in it.
Oh, yeah.
on
yeah.
like the rocking horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Tight.
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad
don't think
we've
it
upgraded
rocked,
from
but
that.
yeah, maybe.
I'm full pro bidet now. I'm 100% on the train. Are you a bidet man, Mark? Do you have one in there?
I used to have one, and I'm gonna order a new one, because after that podcast, it was like watching one of those hour-long factory farming documentaries where you come out of it and you're like, well, I'm never eating chicken again.
Right. This has changed my life. My brother and his wife have like the top of the line one. Like, I think they have like the fanciest one you can get.
They have like a
It is-
borderline Japanese toilet, right?
They
Where
have
they're
like they basically have a Japanese toilet, and it's like, it's a little overwhelming. I think it's great. If I got used to it, I think it would be great. But like, there's no way to like turn it off, and it just like does a lot of stuff. And it's like, I'm done here, and you're still going, and I don't, I don't know what to do about this.
Am I still dirty? You have to tell me.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is there a sensor involved? Also, the heated toilet seat, awesome. Kind of freaky if you're not expecting it. Like,
Yeah.
a little
feels
jarring. It's like, was someone just here?
Yeah,
I'm
the only
sensing a
time
presence.
The only time I've ever sat on a heated toilet seat is like when I have to go into a public bathroom right after somebody else. So
That's the sensation you have. Yeah, that is the sensation. But it is like, once you know it's not that, it is nice.
That's my weird line with it, where I don't have the temperature control one, because to me, obviously, bidet is already like a luxury,
Extravagance.
But to have the warm one, that I feel is that would be a weak You have to stay with this Spartan. Plus, it's kind of like it wakes you up in the morning a little bit.
Sure.
I will say that this was my weird grumble I updated mine recently. I'm not going to say the brand until they give us money. But this one has got 2 nozzles at different lengths. They're labeled, one is for the back, one is for the front. Obviously, the front being for people with a different set than me, because there's not a lot of need to just spray myself in the gooch. But I had to pay for both. I was like, I'm paying for a whole extra mechanism in here. I don't need. I just
now
need
you know
one.
what the pink tax is like.
Mm-hmm.
That you just have to get the lady version. You don't ever want to just have a jet of water directly into your balls. I feel like that's where it would go.
Maybe to punish myself, perhaps.
Yeah. That's why you'll never go for the warm seat, because you don't believe you deserve it, Eli.
Right.
That is actually deeply connected. I'm going to bring this up with my therapist. We'll discuss.
Gotta get to the bottom of this.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's something that I don't know why we got rid of, but it definitely is one of those things where you come out of another bathroom now, and like if I'm somewhere like a public bathroom obviously doesn't have them or something, it to me now feels like I'm walking out like I didn't know how any of it worked, and I'm like I feel like I have to go up to the person at the restaurant. Yeah, like I'm gonna have to go up to the person at the restaurant like an 8-year-old and be like, I'm dirty. Like, can you help me? Like, it's different. It's a good feeling.
Can't go back. Can't go back.
Yeah. But it was a fun podcast. It's good. I especially liked your like lore, like your like warning lore up front to kind of delineate the guidelines of what was his name? Grodd, yeah. To delineate what was this like. Now, to get everything out of the way, Grodd has been around since the 90s. Grodd is not an idiot. Grodd has awareness of some, yeah, which is good.
Well, it's because there were some early episodes where people would be like, do you know what a TV is, Grodd? And I was like, okay, we got to remember that people are listening to this. Like, you can't, this is not literally teach a child.
Mm-hmm. Is there any inspiration? Because it's the same as the famous Phil Hartman, the great, and I'm not alleging any theft, but the Phil Hartman Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer sketch, which is one of the all-time greats.
An all-time great sketch, which I think I've seen. I hope it's not too much like that, because...
No.
I don't think so.
I'm not overly familiar with early 90s, late 80s SNL, but... Anyway,
I think with the conceit has to be that Grodd knows everything except the thing you're explaining to him. It has to be he doesn't know this, but he knows everything else because we need to get a move on.
That's exactly what it is. And then sometimes people just get bored of what they're talking about and ask Grodd to explain what what his deal is, and I've been asked multiple. so
I've been asked
the lore,
what my deal is multiple times.
Yeah, the lore builds in uncomfortable ways. I've many times discovered that I guess my job is being a human toilet at various restaurants around Brooklyn. And
human bidet.
Yeah, so it's not really I'm making it sound like this entire podcast is toilet stuff, but and it is.
I mean, if you're on the right podcast, if you want to talk about toilet stuff, it is a recurring. I don't know if you could tell by the 100 toilet flush sound drops we've had so far.
Yeah,
it comes up. All right.
I think those were the same. Those are the same flushing sound drops that David Guetta used during his George Floyd set.
Oh, yeah. What is famous? What would he say?
Shout out to his family, right? That was him.
Shout out to his family.
Yeah, that's no. That's the classic toilet flush. It's like the Wilhelm flush, right? You recognize it. It's in there.
It is. It's a powerful one. We've probably discussed this before, but that's an office toilet flush for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the long handle. Oh yeah. Anyway, before we talk about toilets for another 20 minutes, should we do numbers?
Let's do numbers.
Number 5.
Number 5 comes to us from Charlie Xbox in the Discord. Thank you, Charlie Xbox. This is a story from Scotland. As is well known on this podcast, I can't do accents. If you guys would like to, feel free, because...
Mark, you're on the spot after immediately. I feel like I do a Scottish. I feel like all Scottish accents are just people doing a level of Shrek at this point, though.
Just say donkey and then you're in the zone.
Donkey. Yeah.
So an event was held in Scotland recently that caused some controversy. So they had the World Stone Skimming Championships. Can y'all skip a stone? Can you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You're talking to a couple of Huck Finns over here.
You need a fence whitewashed. You need a funeral faked. Well, that's is that the Huck Finn or Tom Sawyer?
That's Huck Finn.
Combined in my mind.
Yeah. I just read James, that Percival Everett book, where he he retells it from the perspective of James, the escape. Yes, of Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Huck Finn, not a great life. You forget that part of it. His dad beat the shit out of him. That's like part of it.
When I was that back then,
when I was in the 3rd, 4th grade, I read that book, and my teacher gave me an assignment that I was to cross out the N word anytime I came across it.
That was the assignment?
Yeah.
I think that's a better, because there was a move to take it all out, right? To just ban the book. I think that teaches more. You should be like, it teaches you to stamp out racism. It teaches you
how many N-words are in the book, I guess.
But also, it's establishing good muscle memory, and you go, I see this word, but it's not acceptable.
That is true. So, it gives you a reflex of like, I see this word, I must.
Yeah.
From history. Yeah.
I don't think I really understood the word at the time, but I knew it was bad.
That's all you need to know.
You crossed it out hundreds, probably thousands of times in that book.
It is in there quite a bit. Anyway, the stone skipping competition. 2,200 people came to skip stones on this Scottish isle, and they had some standardized rules. They had a device called the Ring of Truth. Device is a strong word. It was a metal ring that your stone had to fit in the metal ring in order to skip it. And can we turn the music off? It is very distracting. Thank you.
Flush that toilet.
It's like the carry-on thing at the airport. Your stone has to fit through. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Your stone has to
people fit. Squeezing their stone to make it fit.
Vacuum sealing their stone.
Yeah.
Can you take any like toothbrushes out of this stone? Take a couple shirts out of this stone.
Put them in your backpack. They can't be in there. So the contest, they had to they had to standardize stone. However, they found that a number of the 2,200 competitors were found to be using, quote, suspiciously circular stones.
Oh.
Yeah, which apparently that helps. I wouldn't know because I can't do this. I think I've done it maybe once in my life.
We got to get you skipping stones. We got to get a
I've tried.
Field trip.
I've really tried. I've never mastered it.
We got to get you into boys' childhood activities like skipping stones and making gun sound effects with your mouth.
Yeah, finding a good stick, finding a gun-shaped stick. That's what I need to get into.
We got to get Kath into Cub Scouts ASAP. We got to get you in there.
We got to teach you the cock and the shot.
Well, then you never had, because I was say one of the best stone skipping experiences. I mean, I'm not crazy good at it. We're not talking a lake, but if it's a smaller thing, you can skip it and you hear the skips, and then you hear like a distant like conk when it hits the other shore. Oh, brother!
You get it all the way across.
You can get it all the way across.
I mean, I guess how big are we talking body of water wise? Because like I'm at a lake, I'm not getting it across.
You need to be able to see the other shore. It's like a long, if you showed me pictures, I could tell you yes or no if I think I could get it across there. But
yeah, full disclosure, Eli used to skip his stones across a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Not
skipping
lengthwise.
A stone all the way across sounds like a labor of Hercules or something. Like he did it across the Mediterranean or something
By
like that.
far his easiest. Oh, yeah. What's that? Yeah, well, there's an old Rodney Dangerfield joke or something where he's like, I took a bath with my wife. She told me to stop skipping stones, which is funny.
Because his wife's so big, they had to be in a
No,
big
I think it's just
bath?
because doing that in a bath would hurt her.
It's rude. It's a rare joke from Rodney where he's not the... She's not the but he's it's not that he's not getting any respect. It's that he's not respecting his wife.
He's respecting his wife.
I think it might have been I told her to stop skipping stones. Maybe that would make more sense.
There we go.
Yeah.
Still kind of confusing.
I was reading
I tell you.
Yeah.
I was reading a thing that it was like his wife listing all of her favorite Rodney Dangerfield wife jokes, and it was so sweet. Like she wrote about, like for each joke, she sort of wrote about something about their life together that like had to do with the joke, and like he was such a sweet husband, according to her.
Yeah.
They had like a beautiful relationship. It was so moving.
I thought he didn't write his own stuff, but I
Probably
think
not.
They probably
I mean,
still did have.
For the purposes of the article, she picked her. She was going to be like, he didn't write those in the remembrance article.
Very, very
I don't
sweet.
think.
Yeah.
My favorite Rodney Dangerfield joke, which was told to me at a bar by some guy, so it's just like someone telling the joke to someone telling the joke to someone telling the joke. But it was, my wife's cooking is so bad, the flies pitched in to fix the screen door. It's great.
That's pretty good. Exactly.
Yeah.
We were
The
talking about
Stone-
him before we recorded the other day about how fucking good his jokes were.
Oh yeah.
He's so
there's some-
great.
There's some great ones there. He's like, what's the one? He's like, my first step, my old man tripped me. I was like, all right, that's good. That's funny, Rodney.
It's funny, Rodney.
My wife
Okay,
came to the
Rodney,
door in
very
lingerie.
funny.
She was coming home. That's what
Yeah. My wife likes to talk to me during sex. She called me from a hotel. Good stuff.
I like
Rodney
that our
Dangerfield, check him out.
Rodney impressions are getting a little vampire-y, which I like.
He's a little vampire.
Slightly vampire-y.
My wife.
I get no respect.
Anyway, stone skipping.
Stones.
So yeah, there's this cheating scandal. They don't tell me how many, but this is kind of funny where they just say, the championship's organizer, Dr. Kyle Matthews, told BBC News that the offenders, quote, held their hands up and ultimately apologized for cheating. So they were just like, you got me.
Yeah.
Busted, like immediately confessed, which I find interesting that they felt the stakes were high enough that they had to cheat, but not so high that they couldn't immediately be like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Well, whatever. You got me.
So what had
I'm
they done?
surprised.
Had they like sanded it or
They had
sanded it round?
ground the edges to make it rounder, which I guess
Flatter,
makes it
yeah.
easier.
Yeah, you want like a disc basically.
I think it makes sense, frisbee style.
Yeah. I'm surprised that I wonder if they consider it. I'm surprised that they're not basically provided stones to keep it even, but maybe they consider, maybe that's part of it is like they consider the rock choosing is part of the skill set where they're like, we also value your ability to identify a good, but it seems like chaos. Two skippers fighting over the perfect stone on the shore.
It looks like they had like buckets of stones there, so I guess you could choose from there. Also, apparently the rule is you can bring your own stone, but it has to come from Scotland. So I don't know how they checked that, but you couldn't bring one from home. You had to bring one. You had to find one in Scotland. It was won by an American.
Oh, brother.
I'm sure everyone was thrilled about that in Scotland.
Yeah.
Jonathan Jennings managed to skim his stone for a total of 177 meters, which
Holy
is
moly.
pretty crazy.
Yeah. I don't know how long that is, but pretty good.
Yeah, even
It
Jonathan
is.
Jennings, the American, wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, he's like, tell me in real numbers how long this went.
Yeah.
580 feet.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. What's that?
That's it. I mean, what is that? A tenth of a mile? That's
yeah,
pretty
that's what I was
crazy.
thinking. That's wild. It's good. I wish they did. They should have done it on Loch Ness, and then if you hit Nessie, you get bonus points. You know, like when you're at a driving range and everyone's trying to hit the guy driving the cart. What
People
an
do that?
unfortunate job. Yes. Shelby's a golf guy. Shelby, you're trying to knock that guy on the cart. Yes. It's just like it's like a human. The same way they found out that if like in a urinal. If they engrave,
People try to hit
they put a little fake fly on it, and then everyone gets it in 100% because they're all aiming for the fly. It's just an unfortunate part of working at the driving range is that if you're the guy who drives that cart, everyone's trying to
nail ya.
dink you.
If
It
I don't
does
see
seem
a
like
fly, if I don't see a fly in that urinal, I'm aiming anywhere.
Anywhere but.
Free range.
Yeah. Backwards, next guy over.
Problem is you put a fly sticker in there, then it falls off onto the floor, and everybody's just soaking.
Brother.
Toilet podcast. We're here again.
Yes.
That does seem like a fun experience that I'll never have, is being able to aim it. It does seem fun really every time. Like,
Yeah.
there's a fly. That seems like a good time. Nice
There's some places that have got like they always have an article about it, or like bars that get it put in like, like carnival game where you shoot like water into a clown's mouth and a balloon blows up.
Mm-hmm.
Like some
do that with
bars
pits?
and stuff get urinals that have like a score and you can like play them, but it's not common. You don't see it a lot, but I've seen pictures of it before. It's not a clown's mouth because that would be deeply disturbing. But bring
I don't know.
Yeah,
why not? Clown's mouth. That's funny.
not for the clown.
Not
He
for
was
the
having a
clown.
depending on his taste, I suppose. But
That's like my friend told me. I don't know if it's still like this, but my friend told me at the Eagle they have a trough urinal and they had to put up signs. They're like, "Please don't lie down in this. This is not what it's for."
that's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's
I
there
know
to have a little very specific sort of fun. I imagine it's like, don't lie down in this unless you're going to change your clothes after. You can't just be walking back out into the bar after this.
Preferably, you got to have a shower in that bathroom too.
Yeah.
I know they've had. I've seen videos of I guess the trough urinal is so like utilitarian and gross that it's like mostly not that I've seen like music festivals have had like trough urinals, and then there's been videos of like a guy walking up. It's not in use, and he just washes his hands in it, and then picks up like the urinal mint. And it's
I
like,
can't be doing that.
gotta put up a sign. Gotta put up a sign.
And in Burning Man, that's encouraged.
That's part of it.
Come on.
Bed of villainy, Burning Man.
We R.I.P. to the orgy tent. We talked about how it burned down or something. It blew away. I think it blew away.
Yeah, something happened at the orgy tent at Burning
Which
Man.
sucks because then the orgy isn't contained. Then it's just, it's breached containment. There's no tent for it. It's just everywhere. You don't want that. No thanks.
Someone was smoking a cigarette, fell asleep in the cuck chair, and the whole tent burned down. Gone now.
Hate to see it. Anyway, so I guess they caught the cheaters, at least some of them, and they confessed. But next year, they said they're going to implement some further sort of controls. I wonder if they will provide stones in the future to try.
Yeah,
to
you're just not allowed to bring your own stones. Yeah. That's just
it ruined
you're
it
just
for the rest of
asking
them.
for asking for trouble. Hey, if you're enjoying this episode, why not listen to our bonus episode where we cover this year's Ig Nobel winners for strange but useful science findings of the year. Very fun. News
you can use. And if you're interested in this episode as well as an extra episode every single week, sign up at our Patreon, patreon.com/whatatimepod. You can also find ad-free versions of our main feed episodes there. Check it out.
Number four.
Number four
Comes to us this week from the original Hollaback girl in the Discord, pre-Gwen Stefani. We chatted about Gwen Stefani yesterday. Mm-hmm. Gwen Stefani's reinvention of herself every couple of years.
Yeah, we talked about how she her factory settings are reset every 6 years. She comes back as a new person.
Yeah. Same face. Well, same face. Slightly different face, but not an
quite
aging
same face. But yeah, like I remember it because my mom loves The Voice, and she was on The Voice, and so she was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's gonna take a while." I was like, "That's gonna take a while to explain all the people Gwen Stefani."
Yeah. That's a long story.
Yeah. So, Mom, how much do you know about the Harajuku district of Japan?
Are you familiar?
Third wave ska? Yes? No?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But so yeah, that's who this story comes from. The original Hollaback girl. This is from Pennsylvania, and it is a story of. I think we've covered a couple similar things of the increasingly lax, or the pretty wide lasso that includes emotional support animals, which I think even pretty friendly people to the idea. There's some that seem to have been.
There's
denied.
limits. There's limits that are being pushed.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just say that.
Though I don't know if they're official or they're just, they just bought the vest off Instagram or whatever. They're like, no, they don't have their paperwork. That's what you gotta.
Right.
Because there's a whole cottage industry of basically based on the fact that they probably won't make you show paperwork, and they're like, it's just like, here's a bunch of stuff to put on your dog that'll make people not ask about it more.
I feel like people don't even bother anymore. I was in Trader Joe's at like rush hour for Trader Joe's, and there was a leashless, collarless dog in there.
Oh my God.
Just out. It was being chilled.
Got out of the back.
And whoever owned it was far enough away, I couldn't tell who it was.
Wow.
Which is fucking crazy.
That's
it
crazy.
really blew my mind.
Just the town dog of the Trader Joe's.
Maybe he was shopping. Maybe he was there to get some stuff.
That's
I don't
Joe's
know.
dog.
Yeah. That is Trader Joe, it turns out.
It's Trader
He
Dog.
was just over watching over things.
I'll say this: the people who are in charge of policing what is not an emotional support animal refuse to accept that humans are animals.
That is true. That is true.
Whoever's
And we
in charge
provide.
refuses to accept.
This is my emotional support partner, and it's just you can just say wife or husband. That's fine.
Yeah, but they get to fly on the plane for free.
That's
because they're
the thing. This lady keeps me calm.
Because I'm crazy. Now let me on your plane. Yeah. But this is a man, this is not an airplane or anything. This is Western Pennsylvania man who has an emotional support alligator. And up until this point, he has been allowed to bring it into a West Pennsylvania Walmart, but they have dropped, they're done with him. They've had enough of this emotional support alligator in the Walmart. There's a picture of him here. His name is Wesley Silva. The alligator's name is, Jinseoshi. So perhaps an anime fan himself, this Wesley Silva.
I didn't have a problem with this at all until I heard the alligator's name. Because this man is not, forgive my assumption, I do not believe he is a Japanese man based on...
No.
based on his appearance.
He is not a white man, at least, which is a small win. But
That's true.
But yeah.
But I just I feel like there is a weird thing where Americans love to name their animals Japanese stuff. And it's very, the amount of cats I know named Mochi, what's going on with that? Why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
It's a little strange.
The pet names is a real fraught. Less now, but walking around in Brooklyn, you're going to meet a lot of dogs named Tupac, and you're like, I don't think that shows the respect you want to imply.
Yeah.
DMX maybe because it's a dog. That's funny, but it's still not
I feel like there are a few exceptions when it's the dog has an origin or the animal has an origin in a place and you want to name it something from that place. I feel like sometimes that is acceptable.
They have
Dog
the
has
cat
been
cafes.
shot.
Balls in our court.
Balls in our court.
Cat Cafe is...
My dog's name, I feel like, is somewhat controversial, but it is based in a personal story, like you were saying, Kat. So I feel like that's fine. And the story is that when I was growing up, I really liked Tupac.
Is your dog named Tupac?
So my dog now is named Tupac Shakur.
Full name. Full government name.
No, my dog's, my girlfriend's dog that I walk sometimes, its name is Chavo, which is obviously a Mexican. It's Mexican Spanish slang for little guy, little homie. Well, let me tell you, I don't love hollering that out.
Yeah. When it falls to you to walk the dog, you're the dog's name, which I did not choose, is Chavo.
When people ask me his name, I'm like, okay, so here's some information you need. My girlfriend is Mexican.
Here's some backstory.
Let me give you a quick little rundown here. But this is Jinseoshi, which maybe there's a story behind it. I doubt it. And it's an alligator. There's a picture of it here. First of all, it's probably, we're talking about this. Mark, you're very kindly holding up a finger. Did you want to?
Well, I know what Jinseoshi means.
Oh my God.
Because I went to Japan and I went to a music store and that's what they call Tupac over there.
It's a Japanese word for Tupac.
The band names over there?
Yeah, they do.
Translate?
Yeah, Jinseoshi is Tupac.
Yes. But so this is a lot smaller than I think most people are imagining. We were saying before, I think that's alligators get pretty small. Crocodiles are the ones that are, living in the golf
big
courses.
ones.
And then there's the caimans, which are tiny little with funny noses. I like those guys.
I don't know this for sure, but I feel like those ones would be the meanest. The little guys. They seem like they'd be the most bitey just because they're very pointy compared to the other ones, I feel.
Yeah.
And they're just, it's like how little dogs are yappier,
Yeah. Chip on their shoulder, caiman, Can't find a date.
syndrome.
Can't find a date on the apps because everyone needs their
Right.
their ferocious reptile to be at least 6 feet tall.
Exactly. I feel like they're resentful and they're
They do
mean
have-
about it.
I just know they have that little bump, that very like Pokemon like bump at the end of their nose. That's just like a fun little tweak to set them apart.
A mod.
Yeah, but I'd say this alligator is probably about 3 to 4 feet long, something like that. And
I think so. He's like, the guy is like holding it. It's not like a walk on the ground. It could, but yeah, I imagine it's not like on a leash following him. I imagine it's like in the cart, you know?
Oh, just defending. You get the last box of, If you got to hoard toilet paper, that's some real, alligator in the cart trying to
That's true.
Sneak the last thing out of his cart. And he clearly pampers and loves this alligator. Kath beat me to posting the photo in the chat, but it is wearing, in this photo, a cable knit sweater vest with a faux fur collar. Crazy.
I like this guy. I don't know. I don't know if I'm on his side, but he clearly loves this alligator, and he also he's like a lizard guy. He has like a bunch of other ones at home that he has the good sense to leave at home. He just
Surely
takes
they're
the
not
one
more
out.
dangerous.
Yeah, and this is a rescue alligator, according to the story, because he got the alligator from a neighbor who couldn't care for it anymore and gave it to him, which I think couldn't care for it anymore means more like my neighbor got an alligator and did not fully research that and did not want it anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think this is just the problem of like, even if it's not causing a problem, only one person has to be like, I don't want an alligator in Walmart. And then Walmart is like,
Fair enough.
we are not legally legally we don't want an alligator in here. So yeah, he said that they've been going to that Walmart for 3.5 years, so they had a pretty good run. Said and usually people like the alligator. He said, we have been going to that Walmart for about 3.5 years, and normally the reaction is, that's pretty cool, or that is awesome that you have a pet alligator, man. So yeah,
I mean, I imagine there's probably a silent majority who may not be like, I don't like that you have an alligator. Like, going up to him.
Yeah.
People that don't like the alligator probably not approaching the alligator that often.
Yeah, might not just be that one stoned teenager that he's quoted twice.
He's got one big fan. Yeah.
And then he's a pastor, which is fun. And then, there's
lizard church.
Yeah, hopefully he's not the what are the churches with snakes? The ones that like let
the snake
bite
handlers,
them?
like the Appalachian
handlers,
guys. Yeah.
Episcopalian, is that it?
Yeah. So this is a lovely guy. We say now we will not, if anything else, if he gets a milkshake duct, we disavow. But because he goes, in the Bible, God talks about us having dominion over animals, and I developed an affinity for the reptiles. I find them very soothing. And the origin of his reptile collecting started 3 years ago when his daughter wanted a snake. Mark, you know about that. There's a snake behind you.
There's a snake behind you. Watch out.
There's a snake
hiding.
on your neck
She's
right
hiding.
now, bitten. Yeah, they do be hiding. And then, so he said his daughter wanted a snake. She got the snake, and then he was basically hogging her snake. He says, I held it one night, and I just kind of started really bonding with it and holding it.
Aww.
And finally, she gave me an ultimatum. Dad, really, you need to get your own snake. Which is great. That's like those great Instagram videos or whatever where they're like, the ones where it's like dad before getting a dog, dad after getting a dog. Where
dad with the cat he didn't want, and it's
exactly.
the cutest. Yeah,
like
love
dressing
those.
it up, curling up. But yeah,
I like this because like that line about having dominion, like there are other Christians who think that means that they get to take over the government. So I like that he read that line and was like, this means I get to have snakes and lizards. Like that's a beautiful interpretation of that. Of that line.
He's worked a manifest destiny into just like, I should be friends with buffalo. We should be friends with them.
That's so nice. We're pro this guy. I unfortunately do side with Walmart on the probably don't take this in there, but thumbs up to this guy.
That's just gotta. They lost their plausible deniability of going, there's an alligator in here?
Yeah,
and then, once it gets pointed out, they got to ask him to leave.
Yeah. I wonder what
little
emotions.
alligator.
I wonder what emotions he needs support for when he's in a Walmart.
Oh, yeah. Ennui.
Yeah. I mean,
Emptiness.
That is what I feel in a Walmart. So
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah. I'm like broken now by New York because there's no big, like, just a regular Walmart or Kroger. Like a video of someone walking around just in normal suburban Walmart or Kroger is the same to me as like a video of the back rooms. It's like a liminal space to me at this point. It's like unsettling. You know, there should just be like, I'm used to like 3 aisles that you can barely walk through, and then Azerbaijani Windex at a discount. So,
Yeah. One choice of everything. That's any more than that. If there's a whole aisle of Windex, I'm going to freak out. Can't do it.
Too much Windex.
I'm going to cling to my alligator and scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do number 3?
Let's do it.
Number 3.
Number 3 comes to us from, again, the original Hollaback Girl in the Discord, Gwen Stefani, a patron.
Holla back to the original Holla back girl.
Yeah. So this story, I'm delighted by this. I think it's funny. I'm not sure what her feeling is on it. But this woman, her name is Michelle Wiley. She's British. She got married in November of 2021. And when she got her pictures back from her wedding, she noticed a guy in the pictures that she didn't know. She was like, I had an unwitting wedding crasher at my wedding. And she says, quote, no one remembered him being there on the day. And now we know he slipped away after the ceremony, which is a crazy form of wedding crashing to only go to the ceremony. That's
the best
wild.
part.
He was wearing a bowler hat. He was completely bald, and he stood in the background, and he was just observing. And
We had a watcher at my wedding.
he wept through the vows. He said that was beautiful, and then he snuck away.
Yeah, he slunk away.
I
Yeah.
think, like
Go ahead.
for you guys too, probably depending on age, like the idea of like wedding crashing, which I think was like a thing, but it's obviously like the movie made it really like
An established, yeah.
And when I'd seen that movie the first time, I hadn't really been to any weddings because that would have, if I'd been to my friends' weddings at that point, it would have been a crime. There would be investigations and a cult involved. But
Too young.
like, so I think when I watched it, I was like, how could you get away with that? And now that I've been to a bunch of weddings, I'm like, you could absolutely just go do that. Like, there's so
Yeah.
many people nobody knows at a wedding all the time.
There's always like a few sort of isolated people who don't know anyone else at the wedding. So yeah, it no one is going to like point it out because that's rude. Be like, who are you? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the bride or the groom, but they're busy. They're
Yeah.
very busy. They're not. They
Bring-
don't have time to do that.
Bring a camera. Guess what? You're the photographer's assistant.
yeah. You can just, what's the thing?
Let's
what's the
do
thing
it in
about,
more
like,
lav mics.
yeah, or the little road. Yeah, like you could just go in. I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second, but I was just saying, I've been to one wedding that was weird, where I had that experience of there was it was like a cool wedding, and there was a New York Times reporter there covering the wedding, and I got sat next to them, and I was like, afterwards, I was like, did you put me next to them so that I like? You were like, they got to be next to somebody funny so they have a good time. Because I definitely felt like I had to turn it on when I was like, this is going to be covered. And they were like,
they might put my name in this person's wedding article.
Eli Uden was very funny throughout.
Yeah.
Friend
Good
of the
stuff.
couple, Eli Uden, had a lot to say about the nuptials. Just talking about toilets for 20 minutes. With the New York Times
Talk to
reporter.
me about bidets for way too long. I did talk about the bathroom at that wedding. They had great soap there. Really nice soap.
Bathroom
I'm that
review.
guy now. I'm settling
Eli
into it,
had
and
the
I love
salmon.
it. Yeah.
Eli
My
had
dad
the
loves the
salmon.
salmon. I'm not it.
That
No,
is the part of the wedding crashing that like you have to go to the bathroom for all of dinner. Because if there's assigned seating, you're going to have a problem.
True.
Yeah.
But if you go like buffet style, that's what my brother and his wife did. They just had like a big party at a bar with like serve yourself stuff. There could have been tons of people at that thing we didn't know.
Yeah.
No one
Yeah,
would have
the
known.
old, which I think I think buffet style is good. I mean, I like getting served a little plate, but then you got to wait longer. Luke Moda starts freaking out because
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, at co-host Patty's wedding, Luke Moniz was very upset about the timing of dinner versus dancing. People started dancing too early, and he got very upset because we had
People
not
started
had dinner
dancing
yet.
before the fish had been delivered, and he was worried that everyone was going to be like, well, if people want to dance, we'll just do that now. And he was like, the fish must be delivered.
This is anarchy. He couldn't handle it.
Wow.
If
That's
I
a
don't
real
get
sea
George
bass.
Costanza at a wedding kind of vibe.
Yes, but so
was.
big.
Yeah.
A giant George Costanza.
There's an
Getting
order
very.
to it. An
because at
order
one-
to it.
I mean, at one point he literally went, "It's just not done." So yeah, it was big George Costanza energy.
Wow.
Anyway,
It was great. Yeah, these
this
wedding crasher.
this wedding crasher. So like for years they were just like, isn't that so weird? Like, who is that guy? Like they were sort of passively trying to figure out who it was. And then she reached out to, quote, content creator Daza, who is, look, richer and more successful than some guy
Is this
I've
like
never
a
heard of
Rainbolt
has
situation?
like 500,000 followers. I don't know. It says he has 400,000 Facebook fans and 129,000 TikTok subscribers asking him to plaster the pictures on his platform. So
okay.
I'm looking, there's a TikTok. He's your boy Daza. Check it out. He does live shows. He's probably doing stand up.
Yeah,
There
sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. You can get tickets to his show. Anyway, he posted it and they found him very quickly, who this guy was. It also, like, this poor guy, it doesn't help that he is like very tall and he's also like close. He's standing too close to the aisle when they're walking down the aisle for a wedding crasher.
But that's the thing is you're torn when you're because you got to
You don't wanna
you
slink
can't
in
be
the
moving
back.
past everybody. You don't want to be draw more attention by like excuse me.
That's
he is
true.
really tall. He looks like Ben Schwartz.
He does.
He looks like he's about my height, which is
Yeah.
not easy.
8'3".
Yeah.
6'5". Come on, give me a
9'2".
9'8". Yeah, 9'8". Yeah, which
He's bending over, touching the ceiling. This guy. So what ended up happening, I think, is like delightful. So he says 4 years ago, my partner was like a groomsman in a wedding, and he was the plus one, and his partner told him like the wrong address. Like he told him like a different
He had
hotel.
a wedding deficit that he
Yeah.
had to make up at the expense of strangers.
Yeah. So he said, and like he didn't know anybody at this wedding. He'd met the bride. I guess his partner was friends with the bride and was like in the wedding. But he didn't know anybody else at the wedding. So and his partner's like getting ready to be like, he's gone. He's like doing the morning stuff that you got to do. So this guy was just supposed to meet him there. And he gets to this different hotel and is like, well, there's a wedding here. It must be the wedding.
Oh, wow.
And then as soon as the bride starts walking down the aisle, he's like, I'm at the wrong wedding. It's not the right wedding.
incredible story.
It's so
I mean,
good.
oh my God. If you were that guy and you don't know a lot of people at the wedding you're supposed to
Yeah.
be at, that would be the biggest icebreaker. It would be such a blessing. You go to, you have an incredible story at the other wedding.
That's
That
true.
makes
Once
a
you
lot
get
more
there,
sense.
you're like, you'll never believe this.
Yeah.
It is the only plausible thing because presumably someone who is intentionally crashing a wedding is there for the perks, right?
Yeah.
For the open bar, maybe they really want to do the YMCA, but that's why they're there.
They
This
wanna
guy's
lift the
gonna
chair.
dent the ceiling if he tries to do the YMCA.
He's got to be careful.
This tall
But he
fuck.
is.
Yeah.
He would be recruited to lift the chair because he's so
Yeah.
big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
always
that-
lifting the chair.
Fun
So-
to imagine him slipping out of this wedding and getting to the right one and being like, okay, this makes more sense, and everyone else is his height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm
I
among my
get it.
people. Yeah.
Bigfoot's wedding. Yeah, no, that's you lift the chair. That's your role. I was at a concert and I was talking to somebody about it. They're like, "You ever crowd surf?" And I was like, "I wouldn't do that. I'm the guy who asks people, 'Hey, do you want to go up?' And I put them up. I'm not getting on top of anybody."
The one time I tried to crowd surf, I got immediately dropped, and I was so self-conscious about it, I never did it again. I was like, I'm too fat for this. And in the grand scheme of things, I'm short. I didn't weigh too much to be crowd surfed. It was just like, well, this immediately went bad, so I'm never doing this again. This is mortifying.
You need a foundation as someone who's crowd surfed a lot of people, because there's always a time at which people that are holding you kind of, the people who are holding you kind of lose interest or get a little too far away and they drop.
Lose interest.
And you, like, I've been like the, transfer holder where it's like, I need to keep this up until the people in front notice what's happening.
Yes.
You need to have kind of a keystone there. But
a pillar, a base.
Yeah.
And I just I did not have that, and I got
you need a load bearing man.
Yeah, you got to strategically be placed around the concert venue. But yeah, so this guy said, quote, the music started, everyone stands up and turned around to watch the bride walk down the aisle. And I thought, oh my God, that's not Michaela. You can't exactly stand up and walk out of a wedding mid-ceremony. So I just had to commit to this act and spend the next 20 minutes awkwardly sitting there trying to be inconspicuous.
Yeah.
So then, as you said, Eli, he slipped out and went to the other wedding. And he said, I was almost as popular as the actual bride and groom and spent most of the night retelling that story to people.
Yes.
So he was killing it.
I was going to say too, Michaela, that's a bride name. Michaela's be getting married. That's
You're getting a +1 to Michaela's wedding where you don't know anyone. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And if this is your first time at Michaela Club, you've got to wed.
You've got to marry Michaela.
Yeah.
No, that
the
makes more sense.
wife is like, this is awesome. Like, she's so happy she found this guy. She was like, I could not stop laughing. And she says she wishes he stayed for the reception. She's sad that he left. So happy ending. But yeah.
There's the other great thing here is the picture is that this is, I guess, a Scottish wedding, and the husband's Scottish. So he's wearing full kilt. And so you got to know, even before the bride walks down the aisle, like, what it, huh? Like, you're like, is that?
Well, it was in the UK.
Strange? Okay.
So I feel like that makes it a little more like a thing that happens more often, I would say.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a kilt wedding where a guy's wearing a kilt? I have.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't believe so.
It is a little bit of a surprise if you're not prepared for it. It is a little bit of a shock, I will say.
It's like their dress blues, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and it makes a lot more sense now too that they said it's in a hotel, because that's definitely like you can walk into the wrong. There was like a famous show back in DC that was like every New Year's you could do this show that was at some huge hotel, and it was like they had a lot of it rented out, but there would also be kind of adjacent parties happening in the hotel, and it was open bar if you were on the show, so you just get shit-faced and kind of wander into a couple different parties, and it was a terrible show, as you might imagine, performing at. I was on stage at midnight in a side room.
I've never had to do one of those. It seems really stressful to like keep track of when midnight is, like in the middle of your set. I don't know. I've never had to do it.
Well, there's short sets. It's just like you just have to be. There's a side room that is the comedy room, so comedy is constantly happening. It's just people up and down.
Got it.
And and it's like the stakes are very low because you're allowed to just be like kind of out of it. And but no, this guy's great story.
I think about this a lot because I live like right by the Prospect Park Boathouse, and there are weddings there every weekend, and they're outside. And in order to get married there, you have to be so rich. So I imagine there's probably some good stuff if I can slip in unaware.
Gift bags.
I walk by them like every weekend, and I'm always tempted. I'm not a very good liar though. I don't think I could get away with it. I think I would. Yeah. I also don't think I have any like nice enough clothes, because again, these are like they're fancy weddings, fancy weddings. But
and you can't just go suit and now no one will question me. Yeah.
True.
Even if it's not a nice suit, people are just like, well, we're not going to call him out for the
why are you wearing this
funds.
shitty suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kath, you can't wear one of your collection of bridal gowns.
That's true. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. So it's a big problem. My closet just looks like a David's bridal. It's just, they're all in plastic. It's like a whole thing. Hard in a New York City apartment, but I make do.
You've
Gotta
got
do
the
it.
whole laundromat remote.
Yeah, the dry
around.
cleaning.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is the most exciting thing to see when you're a child. That was like the best errand to go on with
Yeah.
your mom. Seeing the dry cleaner thing go around. Oh, I had
And
so
you're
many
like-
questions.
You're
Let
like,
me
they
on
better
that
not-
thing.
They better not have it ready for me. It better be in the back.
It better
You
be
walk
in the
They're like,
back.
oh, we got it right here on the counter. Can you hang it up and send it around
One
or
more
twice?
time.
For
Bring it
Papa?
around.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, take that thing for a walk.
Number two.
Number two.
Number 2.
Number 2 this week comes to us from the Average Gatsby in the Discord, a long-time story submitter. And this is some good news in Australia. We were discussing before, Kath said this is... I knew about it, you knew about it. I don't know how widespread general knowledge it is, so we'll use Mark as our bellwether here. Mark, are you aware of the rate of chlamydia in koalas? That they're almost... A huge amount of koalas have pretty severe chlamydia.
They do?
All right, there we go.
There we
yeah, it's
go.
a big problem.
Oh,
Huge problem.
Hey, time to
Yeah.
get off the app.
Deleting all your koala matches. My type, koala. I'll try to find an actual number, but yeah, it's a huge problem that a lot of them have chlamydia, and it's pretty gross from what I've heard because they kind of ooze up there, and they're
They
by
ooze?
nature above you. Yeah,
I
they
didn't
got
know
it.
chlamydia was like an oozing one.
I mean, most STDs are an oozing one. I think.
I guess.
You know?
I thought it was like mites, like
They're-
fleas or something.
Well, also I think it's not helped by the fact that they're almost always above you. So if you're looking up at a koala, you're going straight to the
Rained on.
undercarriage.
Yeah.
yeah. You know, people you don't necessarily have to see it because they can hide it away.
Yeah.
So we got here. See, okay, yes, one of the leading killers of Australia's endearing koalas is a debilitating bacterial infection, chlamydia, and some wild populations demonstrate a 100% rate of infection. So there are entire koala populations in the wild that are 100% all have chlamydia, which I guess once one koala gets it, they don't understand chlamydia. So
Yeah. That's an orgy tent that's broken containment for sure.
Yeah.
This is all we could trace back to koala burning, man. And yeah, so there are just a lot of koalas in Australia that are, don't they? And they get like high off eucalyptus a little bit too, or whatever they eat. It kind of soothes them, right? Don't they eat something that
I
kind
mean,
of...
it would be cooling if you have a horrible infection. I feel eucalyptus would be a salve,
Yeah, and so they're just a bunch of high koalas sitting up there, just working through it, really going through it. But they have finally come up with a solution to this. And that is that for the first time, Australia has approved the first vaccine to save koalas from chlamydia. A vaccine to protect Australia's koalas against chlamydia has been approved. A development that scientists believe could help stop the spread of the deadly disease that has ravaged populations of the beloved endangered animal. I'm surprised, I guess, that it took them this long to approve. Because I feel like this is the reverse of animal testing. It's like we have chlamydia stuff for humans.
Yeah.
You could
Do we
probably
have a
just give it to
vaccine?
koalas.
I
don't
feel
know.
like
I don't
we
think we
have
have a vaccine.
I feel like
'Cause
we
it's
have
just-
like pills and stuff, which seems hard to
Well,
give to koalas.
It's so easily curable that I think
Yeah.
they're not putting vaccine time in. Like that's the thing. They're just like, just take the pill. It's you'll be
Yeah.
okay. It's gross for a little while. That's not one of the ones that sticks around.
Yeah, it's not like a syphilis, right? Where it like gets in your brain and makes you a crazy person.
Eats away at your brain, and then you have to get that surgery where they sew your arm to your head, like the old days. Yeah,
Was
no
that
good.
a thing for syphilis? They'd sew
Yeah.
your arm to your head? Is it
Because
just to
you're-
let everyone know that you were crazy?
No, because your nose falls off when you get syphilis really bad, and so they would build
They'd
you a
graft?
new nose.
Okay,
it was
I
crazy.
was thinking this.
Oh yeah, me too.
No, that's a dunce hat. They sewed a dunce hat to
Dunce
your head.
hat of hand and
sew-
forearm.
They sew the front of your hand so you're always saluting the doctors
Yeah.
that saved you from syphilis.
Yeah, always giving them credit. No, it's a crazy. They take because they had to do a graft, so they need extra skin to make your new nose.
Sure.
Which, spoiler, given when this was happening, wasn't a great nose. Just sort of a more of a cover that up.
Flap. Yeah,
it's a
cover
flap.
that
But so
shit
they
up.
would take a big rectangle of skin from your forearm and they'd cut it And then they'd sew it to your forehead so you'd have like a little bridge flap so that it would grow. And then once it grew, they'd chop it, put some of it back on your arm, and then cover up your nose. This is some real the Nick sort of shit.
Of course.
Yeah. Syphilis, crazy. Like, such a, like, I wouldn't say fantastic in not great, not good, not yay syphilis, but like the way it works is just like little aren't they spirals? It's like the little spirals and they burrow into your brain.
I think that's like Lyme disease is like that too. It's like little burrowy things. But I think it's like mean how any person in history who was like a little bit weird, they're like, they think he had syphilis, which is like not very nice. Some people are just eccentric. It's not always that they have stuff burrowing into their brain. Leave them alone.
Well, it's just also everyone was sick back then. That's one of those.
It's true. Everyone had so many problems.
I want to read that. I heard about a book. I want to read that. I saw the author on a podcast talking about it. There's this book called Everything is Tuberculosis, and it's just like the entire world is built around tuberculosis. And it's like, there's a good podcaster talking to him, like they just give him stuff and he'd connect it to tuberculosis. And they were like, World War I. And he's like, the assassin was suffering from tuberculosis and wanted to do something before he died. And it's all very crazy. Anyway.
Really? So it's like the society is built around like the suppression of tuberculosis, or like everything that happened in history was motivated in some way by tuberculosis.
Like, it's just related to so much stuff. And then someone was like, connected to college football, and he's like, the Rose Bowl is in Pasadena, which was a tuberculosis colony, and like it just was like ravaging. Consumption was just destroyed. Like, it was just crazy how big it was. But syphilis too. Yeah, Al Capone was a syphilis guy, right? He was a big syphilis guy.
They say it about like everyone. They're like every person who was a little bit weird had syphilis. It's a bummer.
Yeah. So, but thankfully, these koalas, they won't go nuts and do all that.
They are still mean, though. That's the other thing about koalas I know, is that they're not cuddly. They look like they should be so much nicer than they are, but they're like kind of nasty, and they're smelly, and like you can go get your picture taken holding one, but then you got to give it back real quick.
Gotta give it back.
Or you're just gonna need to fuck it.
That's true.
That's not gonna work out for anyone.
It's a huge problem.
That's a problem.
Chlamydia.
The eagle has fallen, where the eagle is the Burning Man orgy tent once again. Koala chlamydia. Koalamydia. I looked up a photo of the syphilis arm surgery that I could show you guys, and after Googling it, I'm not going to show you guys, and you can thank me later for that. It was not good. That was just back when they used to bring back some of that stuff, though. The guys who got metal noses. Wasn't Tycho Brahe, wasn't he a syphilis guy? Or maybe he got his nose chopped off in a duel, which, that's crazy to get that done. Like, the other guy's got to hit you so weird. Yeah, you got to get hit so weird to get your nose chopped off. So the koalas, they're getting this vaccine. It does everything. This is a great vaccine because it's not just strictly a vaccine. It also apparently will reverse the chlamydia as well. So it's just it's a dunzo shot. Chlamydia solved.
Chlamydia solved.
Yeah. And it looks like even like the lower end of infection is usually about half of a population of them have it. They only have to do it once. They don't have to catch the koalas multiple times. I feel like catching them pretty easy, koala-wise.
Seems like it wouldn't be difficult. Yeah,
it's not like you're vaccinating cheetahs. It's probably you can get them. So they did spend. They supported this with a $749 or $749, $749,000 Australian dollars, which is
749 American dollars.
Yeah, 495,000. That's, I don't know what the origin of dollar is, but like you can't do that.
I don't like when other countries have dollars.
Yeah, Canada.
That's ours.
Mark.
Sorry.
You can't just have
Why'd you
Canadian
do that, Mark?
dollars. That's like
they call
so
get them out of here.
Well, that's only one specific type of Canadian dollar. But
yeah, we got a loonie.
Make that the whole currency name. They're all loonies.
All loonies.
Yeah.
Oops, all loonies. I love that.
People, the prevalence of the coin in Canada like for real denominations, are people jingling like crazy? Are you just always, your pockets must be packed on the daily.
Pockets are jingling, so people know what we're carrying.
It's whimsical.
Real money bags energy. I'm sure that it's fine now with like the plastic takeover, but when I was in Canada, because we had loonies and then we introduced the toonie.
The toonie, yeah.
And one was, I think toonies were in the 2000s, 90s. Loonies were 90s. Anyway, I was around for both of them.
We put out the Sacagawea dollar and you guys were like, watch this. Watch this.
That was crazy. For the subway like token machines in Boston when I was in high school would always give you change in Sacagawea dollars. And I remember one time I put in a 20 and it was like a 90-cent like train ride at the time. And I had so many fucking Sacagawea dollars. It was
full
like I was
slot
a pirate.
Machine mode.
Yeah.
You hit the jackpot. I read, you could probably do it on Lie, Cheat, and Steal. I was reading there's a guy, when they first debuted, they were trying to get them into circulation. And so there was some deal where if you got a bunch of them, you'd get almost like...
Was this a $1 equals $2 situation?
It was a little bit of that. And it was like you get a little kickback or something, which is just... This always happens whenever they try something that simple. You know, it's like an airline miles thing is just like, you get 100 extra for every 500 you spend. And there's always one guy who's like, I'm going to just recycle, just straight up money launder with
Game
this.
the system. Yeah. Love it.
But yeah, so they're using this vaccine on the koalas. Hopefully it'll help. I mean, apparently koala numbers have halved in the past 2 decades, which is very sad.
Yeah. This is wonderful news. Should we do number one?
Yep. They throw, and for anyone worrying about the exchange rate, they throw it at the bottom of the article. $1 equals 1.5156 Australian dollars. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Number one.
And this week's number one reason to say what a time to be alive.
This story comes to us from Shelby, not in the Discord. Here.
Shelby
live.
from work.
Wow.
Shelby from work. Remember
Shelby from work, as he's listed on my Netflix account.
Remember for the first 4 years of the podcast when Shelby was in my phone as Shelby Podcast?
Shelby
for
Podcast.
A really long time.
Yeah.
Shelby from work sent this in. Mark, do you follow basketball at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know Andre Miller? Your last name is Little, not his.
Yes,
Andre
I
Miller.
Do. Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't play anymore, but he was a sturdy point guard, backup point guard for a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you know about him, Eli?
I don't
know about this man?
I'm not a I only know basketball guys that had something weird. They had to have
Same.
Bill Lambier. That's it.
I only know the personalities. I know every guy who's started a fight on the court. I know all of them. I know everybody in the Michael Jordan documentary because they're all characters. But
Andre Miller is literally the last guy you'd ever remember them because he is the prototypical boring guy. He had absolute older brother energy on the court, just doing his job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the only other basketball stuff I know is I lived in Texas and everyone I knew was a Spurs fan. So talk about a team of just guys doing their job. Just no frills. We loved
Tim Duncan,
it.
right? He's
Tim
the
Duncan.
most famous Spur of all time, and his thing was he just gets in there and he just does the job.
The big fundamental.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are a million Onion articles about him doing other players' taxes and stuff. But Andre Miller will now be forever cemented in my memory because he did do one funny thing, which is what we're going to talk about. So I guess he was just giving an interview about this on a podcast. I don't think it was about this. I think it probably came up in the interview. In the 2010-2011 season with the Portland Trailblazers, Andre Miller, he had to leave a game early. He played for 2 minutes and 42 seconds. In this game, they were playing the Pacers, and they did not explain what happened at the time, but he said what happened was the day before this game, which was in Portland, there was what he calls a chocolate convention, which I don't totally understand what that is, but
say hello to my chocolate blend.
Exactly.
He was in the game for 2 minutes and 42 seconds, and then he started to swell into a blueberry.
Yeah.
Roll him off the court.
Yeah, it was a huge problem. Yeah, so he says my woman, I don't know, wife, girlfriend, fellow chocolate fan, they go to this chocolate convention the day before, and it's this huge convention center, and he says it was just unlimited chocolate. That's what he says. So the day before the game, I'm just in there eating all kinds of chocolate, different stations and stuff. Different chocolate stations. He says, quote, the next day the game starts and the first trip up and down the court, I literally ran off the court and I had to go to the emergency room. They put me to sleep. They morphined me.
They put me to sleep. They euthanized me.
He was like a dog. He ate too much chocolate and they had to put him down.
I ran straight to the vet.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and they were like, okay, let's like pull up the game that it was. And they're like, yeah, you played for 2 minutes and 42 seconds.
Wait,
and then you had to go to the hospital because you ate too much chocolate.
What's the ailment there?
He said quote, I ate so much chocolate I had food poisoning everything. So I don't know if he had like food or if he was just like too much tummy trouble.
There might be
from
something
chocolate.
in it, you know, like, I mean, all I can think of is caffeine, but I don't think it would be that you couldn't have that much. But
Yeah.
there might be one of those things where, you know, there's like a couple foods like that where it's like, if you eat, you know, I think there's some like tubers and cabbages that it's like, if you eat 4 pounds of it, it'll,
Cherries.
you know, it builds up. Yeah,
Cherries will fuck
cherries
you
or
up.
something.
Right.
I feel like it's got some sort of thing because chocolate has those like weird properties.
I just
He's
like
also-
imagining he was too full. Like they cut him open. He was just solid chocolate bar in there. Like a
Yeah. There's
Okay, put him to sleep.
put him down.
He's annoying me.
According to him, they put him to sleep for 2 days.
No way.
I don't believe him, but I love his storytelling ability.
You gotta. You're probably not allowed to as a doctor, but if you put someone down for put them out for 2 days, you gotta, when you wake them up, pretend a little bit, be like, it's been 3 years, sir. Like that's
Yeah.
you gotta
Did
get the
you-
nurses wearing like put a
Future
cranial
shit?
implant fake thing. Yeah.
Did you see that clip where it was like, this therapy horse wakes people up from a coma, and it was like
Playing the
playing the keyboard or something. It was
Yeah.
like a horse playing a melodica, and it
Yeah.
was like, if I woke up from a coma and saw this, I would just like immediately die. Like
yeah.
You'd be like,
my body would shut down.
it finally happened. They took over.
Right.
And they're so comfortable in power that some of them are musicians now.
Right. Their society has developed to the point where they have horse musicians.
Yeah.
Like we have leisure entertainment now. That's how
Yeah.
much
Hey,
they've taken over.
I've been mourning about horses.
you have been
This
on
yeah,
the
this
record.
player-
horse disliker.
I mean, I wouldn't say lucky, but this is also the details. He's one of those like Iron Man type, like he never misses a game, and he'd missed one
Yeah,
because
journeyman.
of a suspension, so it didn't break his streak. But there would be a real possibility that he'd never, outside of the chocolate game, would have never left.
Perfect
So I guess he
attendance.
started. I'm not a basketball guy, but I will tell you, if you enjoy this, Kath, there's a lot of like, I think maybe it's more in football than basketball, because basketball you have to keep your weight down more or something. But like, there's so many kids that come out of college and into the football, and they're like, you know, absolute athletic freaks who have like the craziest metabolism known to man. They burn an incredible amount of calories every day.
Right. If you weigh like
And-
300 pounds and you run up and down a football field all day, you can eat like 15,000
Yeah.
calories.
And so a lot of these kids come to the NFL, and there's so many stories of like, before they meet with an NFL nutrition person, they were like, they told me I had to stop. They're always like, I ate 2 pounds of gummy worms a day. And they're like, it's like legit. And then they have to go meet with a nutritionist. They're like, you cannot eat that many gummy worms. Like, it's like a huge part of their diet.
Yeah.
They have to have the
I love
gummy
the-
worm talk every time.
Yeah.
There's
It's
like,
like-
a
I mean, I
new
love
guy.
the Marshawn Lynch Skittles, always eating
Oh,
Skittles.
yeah.
There's a lot of the like Daryl Green, who's like a Washington cornerback, very famous. He always had a Tootsie Roll in his sock during games that he would keep in there.
Daryl.
You know, and And then there's the famous this article reminded me of Eddie Lacy and his famous China food, where Eddie Lacy was, I think, a running back who had struggles making weight always, and then they were like, "Why can't you make weight?" And he's like, "I just love that China food, man." He was like, "I just love China food."
Same, dude. Same.
Succulent Chinese meal.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some story, I can't remember who it is. I think it might be Clarence Clemens, where like between sets because he played with the E Street Band with Bruce Springsteen, between sets he would eat a whole rotisserie chicken in his dressing room. I don't know if that's like true or if that's apocryphal, but I love it.
I heard he stored it in the bell of his sax.
Yeah, that's how he got that sound, that unique Clarence Clemens sound. Rotisserie chicken. Who knew?
Yeah. So this is to close this out on a terrible athlete eating thing. This is what I was thinking of. DK Metcalf, who looks like the strongest man you've ever seen in your life.
Sure.
He's like the most athletic guy or whatever. When he got to the league, they had to change his diet because his diet was 1 meal a day. He would drink 1 coffee, and he would eat, like his words, 3 to 4 bags of candy. Just pure hummingbird
The
diet.
7-Eleven budget must have been. That's what I think. 2 pounds of gummy worms. That's like, you're clearing out the Haribo rack every day.
That's like a sick dog's diet. Doesn't help. And he would eat that and then run 23 miles an hour. So
Right.
Take his
if it
DNA,
ain't broke,
store
don't
it.
fix it. Like
He had the zoomies. He was giving himself the zoomies.
Zoomies.
Sugar rush. Yeah.
There was one famous case of a basketball player, Dwight Howard, who turned out to be bad and strange for various reasons. But at the beginning of his, he was like an athletic marvel even by NBA standards. He had shoulders like you wouldn't believe. He looked like a god. And then it came out that he was addicted to candy and had it like hidden all over his home.
Yeah.
Hidden. Caches.
Hidden from himself, but he knew where it was. But he surprised himself.
Well, Eli, I was truly, truly shocked that I feel like my strategy, I thought this was a common thing, and everyone's like, you have a problem, where I bought cookies at the grocery store, and I didn't want to keep eating them. So I'm 5'4". I threw them on top of my kitchen cabinets.
You threw them? I thought you had a stepladder.
No,
that makes it way worse.
I do have a stepladder, but I was like, if I want these again, I have to get out the stepladder. And that alone will be admitting defeat. So I just chucked them on the top of my kitchen cabinet so I couldn't reach them. And then I was like, what does Eli do? Because no part of your apartment is out of reach. And you were like, I just have willpower. And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
I made it more funny than that. I said I simply
you did.
engaged my iron will and posted the JoJo meme.
I quit smoking for a time, and my girlfriend started like just smoking a cigarette here and there, and she was like, "You'll never find the pack. You will never find it. It is too well hidden." And I really wanted to smoke, and she was like, "You'll never find it." And then I went into the closet, like the coat closet, and it was right there, barely hidden under a hat on the shelf. And it was because she's tiny like you, Kath, and so she had barely been able to get it up there, and she didn't account for the fact that that's where my eyes are.
Right, eye level for you.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect crime. He'll never know. That's so funny.
But no, I don't think that's unusual. I think a lot of people do that sort of thing.
It works.
My
It
dad
totally
always
works.
just does he'll be eating something and he goes, "Take it away from me."
Yeah.
He's Rodney Dangerfield, is my dad.
We're not, I do
Nepo
not allow
baby.
my girlfriend, I beg her not to store ice cream in the home because I can't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
There's some
I
stuff
go
that
off
cannot
on-
cross the threshold here,
Yeah.
for sure. There's
Thou
a
shalt-
few items.
You can't
I'm not
invite
that
it into the
healthy.
home.
Yeah, I'm not that healthy or anything, but I before I start eating, I've already set. I'm like, so I'll eat a pint
That's
of
the
Ben and
amount.
Jerry's, but I know that's happening. I just don't lie to myself. I'm like, I'll stop halfway, put it in the fridge. I'm like, no, this is going to be the full.
This is my meal today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
healthier. I do it and I hate myself. I hate myself with every bite.
You could have a cat of nine tails, and you're just doing
Yeah.
that with the Ben and Jerry's in one hand.
I sit directly in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
And I say,
And then
look at
weirdly,
yourself.
you also run 23 miles an hour. You're the fastest man I know.
I'm the fastest man at the Broadway and Flushing Planet Fitness.
Just breaking the treadmill. Smoke coming out of it.
Oh,
Well,
man. Yeah. I'm the only guy who takes the recumbent bike off the stand by accident. Go too fast.
Right through the wall.
Zooms around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we've talked about food and I'm hungry, so we should do plugs.
Plugs.
Find our Patreon bonus episodes, merch, Discord, and more at whatatimepod.com. And follow us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at whatatimepod. Check out Cap's other podcast, Lie, Cheat, and Steal, about liars, frauds, thieves, and bullshitters. Theme song by Naughty Professor. Thanks for listening, and best of luck.
Mark, when
What
is
you
your
got,
podcast out? Or anything else you'd like to plug? This will be out Monday.
Yeah, podcast Caveman Need Know, as in Caveman Need Knowledge. Mm-hmm. Caveman Need Know. Will be coming out sometime in October, I think. And then I'm at UCB most Tuesdays with my Herald team doing the improv form known as the Herald.
Whoa.
Sweet.
Check us out.
You got a funny name? What's the name of that Herald?
We're
team?
called Hot FM.
All right.
Hot FM. Check it
There
out.
you go.
Spicy name.
I don't think I have anything this week. So go see Mark. Do you have anything, Eli? Check out
You
the
can
special.
watch my special Humble Offering on YouTube. And then, yeah, if you're a Twitch person, I stream on Twitch on Mondays at 3 p.m. right now, Eastern, at twitch.tv/pig_dog. I don't think people really listen to the plugs. If you do, we love you very much. I'm curious if there's interest if streaming that also to YouTube or more days. Let me know if that's something that interests you. I can figure it out technologically.
Twitch feedback requested.
Yes. That's
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
it. Goodbye.